Good morning, folks. Appalachian Cryptid Encounters here. Sorry if my voice sounds a little rough. I'm getting over COVID, and that's why I haven't put no videos out. And I've been nursing my health a little bit, and my throat's been real scratchy and sore, and I've not been able to hardly talk. So I just didn't make any videos this past week. But anyways, I got some footage here to go through. This through some of my archive footage. Some very interesting footage. Just all this footage was taken at night. Um, but here's the first image I want to get to. Man, this is a scary looking dude. So first off, I'm going to do a little bit of enhancement before we get in there and look at him. Uh, so we can see his teeth there. Man, his teeth are rough looking. All right, we'll turn some sharpness up, and I'll turn some definition up just so we can get a good look at him, and maybe a little bit of brightness, and then that's all I'll do. Just for when you upload to YouTube, it diminishes your footage. It lowers the brightness quality, so I have to turn it up a little bit for that. Okay, there we go, I think. All right, so we got a Sasquatch here. He's peering up over a stump, looking at me. He's standing on an embankment, looking over at me. But and his face is pretty much at ground level. He's leaning over, looking up at me. But look at his teeth right here. Wow, look at that. I'm gonna go to markup just for anybody having trouble seeing those teeth. See those teeth? You ever seen those werewolf movies and they got a whole grill full of teeth and they look real rugged and just look like a mouthful of death? Well, that's basically what we got here. Another tooth like that. And then the teeth are like all crazy looking, right? Absolutely insane. And for the eye, we're looking at uh, see, I'm looking here. It almost looks like there's two there, but I'm not real certain. Let me take that markup off just to show you what I mean. It could be a distortion in the camera, but it kind of looks like there's a little, like a little juvenile here, and here's his eyes, right? And there's his teeth. You can see his jagged teeth. And then you got the parent behind him. And there's his nose, and there's his eye. And then there's his big jagged teeth. I think that's what we got going. There's two Sasquatches there, and possibly a third one up here. There's a little baby right here. So there's three Sasquatches in the image. Um, it's hard to see from the way they're positioned. It kind of looks like it's just one face, but I'm not so sure. I could be wrong. I could be just one face, but from the looks of it, looks like there's two grills of teeth there. You got the uh, sorry, I dropped my stylus pen. You got the one set of teeth right here. Um, you get the big tooth, right? And then on the little juvenile guy, you got his teeth right here. And He split in half the face of the adult. I think that's what's going on, folks. It's just so close. Um, but he's leaning around the stump looking at me. And then look at his hair on the top. Just amazing. See a little juvenile right there. His eyes are right. Um, his hands right here. His eyes are right there. His mouth. There's his little head. Right. He's like laid up there like that. On top of the adult. Okay. I just thought it was an interesting image. It was taken late at night. Um, People always complain about like footage not being great, 1980 potatoes and all this crap people say. You know, that's fine, dandy. Yes, sometimes the footage just ain't right, but when you're recording at night uh, with different weather and you're trying to zoom in and then you got them moving and you got to deal with all that. It's hard to get good footage at night, and then especially when you have to zoom in. You know, um, it can be a challenge. So this next footage I'm going to show you, which is pretty good footage. This is I got a tree stump outside in my yard. It's on the left side of my house. I cut the stump down to where I was going to make a bird bath out of it, right? And I was just needing to trim the center of it out, make it concave to fit the bird bath in there. Well, this little Sasquatch has been getting up in there and eating the bugs out of the stump, and so I got a pretty good image of him eating the bugs, and you can see him with his finger in his mouth feeding himself. So that's what I'm looking for here. It won't take but a minute to find it. It's just it's very interesting. You see him with his little finger in his mouth, eating away. um, Let me see here. Okay, bear with me just a moment. Make sure I didn't forget to save it. It looks like I did. So here it is. So when I was recording, he was already down in the tree stump, right? And so he didn't see my light coming. So I kind of caught him off guard. And when he raised up, I already had my light shining that way. And he's like, "Oh shit, I'm caught." But check him out. Look at this little guy. And he's got his little finger in his mouth. Look at him eating. Just amazing. He's got his little hair parted. He got his finger in his mouth. They love eating them grub worms and stuff. They'll eat worms, bugs. I've got footage of them even holding on to hummingbirds. They'll eat them. They'll pluck them right out of the tree at night when they sleep and snack on them. Any kind of little bugs and stuff like that, they love to eat. Check him out, though. That's just amazing. Now, I could do a little work on this to try to darken up his eyes a little bit or something. pretty good. Let me see here. Contrast here. So you can always see that on his face, he's already putting camouflage on his face and stuff at his age. So you can see his pupil on that side there. I'll turn the shadow down just a hair so you can get a good look at him. See his little hand? Look how tiny his little hand is, digging in his teeth. Absolutely amazing. So when I see these little guys out here, I don't ever try to bum rush them or because sometimes I'll catch these. The little ones are they're a lot easier to catch off guard than the adults, right? And sometimes you'll catch them and catch them out in the light, and they'll freeze still and everything. Sometimes I'll catch them like that, and they'll be sitting there nervous and shaking or whatever. I'll just purposely move the light and let them go, because I think they know that now, they know I'm not out to cause them any harm or nothing like that. So the parents are not as strict on keeping an eye on their kids as much because they know I'm not going to bother them. Because I've had plenty of opportunity to bother them, but I don't want to entice any of the adults on my property, and cause them to beat the hell out of my house and destroy my property and or destroy me. Their prized possession is their children, so I just let them go. But if I can sneak glimpses of them, and like this, I'll do that. I'll get footage of them when I can. But check that little guy out. Absolutely amazing. All right, moving on. So in this footage, I got a bunch of this footage I went through. Um, this is when it was raining real bad, right? And these are Sasquatches sitting in my car. Yeah, I know it's crazy to think about, but they were sitting in my car, man. So here's the outline of my car, right? And here's my front seat, like that. The albino Sasquatch is sitting in my front seat of my car, right there. Watch. Right here's his shoulder. There's his conical head. Here's his eyes, his nose, his mouth. And then here's a little juvenile peering out in the back seat. Like that. And then there's one over here somewhere. Freaking getting in my car. And I forgot to lock my car door. And they freaking get in there and rummage in my car if I leave my doors unlocked from time to time. See, whatever snacks I leave in there or anything good to eat or anything like that, then kids will get in there and find, leftover food or whatever. But I have to be careful of them trying knocking it out of gear or something. They don't know how to operate a car. They pull on it gear shift or something. So I have to keep my doors locked at all times. But at this time, I forgot to, and they had gotten in my car. And then the next morning, I got up to go get a breakfast sandwich from McDonald's, and man, I started scratching my legs and everything. And them boogers had freaking put chiggers in my car, man. I had to come home and spray my car out and everything because those Sasquatches had put chiggers in my front seat of my car. It was freaking crazy, man. So yeah, it was a hard lesson learned there. All right, let's see here. Okay, this is an image I'll show you after I show you the good image I want to show you. Okay, right here. So this was taken. What day was this taken on? December 20th, 2022. It's been a while. In this footage, we got a juvenile right here. Let me get a mark up. Looking up at me right here. Right, here's his nose. There's his mouth. See his eye right here. He's looking up like that. Okay? And then over here, we got another Sasquatch. Let me go back to markup. We got another Sasquatch right here. The conical head, the big head Sasquatch. He's got his one eye right here. But then he's got a juvenile straddling its face with its leg coming across its nostrils like that, sitting on its face. And then there's another little Sasquatch standing right here. You can see his little conical head, and there's his little eyes right there. So there's a couple of them sitting there. You just have to look at the image there and get a feel for it. I'll try to brighten it up a little bit so you can get a better look at it. But yeah, definitely. I'm not so sure that's a juvenile right there or not. I think it might be, but it could be one of those hobbit-sized Sasquatches. I'm not real sure. Okay, so I turn the exposure up on it a little bit. You can see the brown starting to come in on his face there quite a bit. Um, and then you can start to see the face here on this other little Sasquatch here, and then you can see the juvenile uh, resting on its head there. Pretty interesting stuff. I'm going to turn the exposure back down and maybe just go to brightness and see if that's a better option to add light. Um, when you turn that exposure up, it really drowns out the background quite a bit, distorts the image quite a bit, which I don't like to distort it that much. A little bit's okay, but I don't want to ruin the image, so to speak. Let me see here. And there's got to be a way to lighten that without doing the exposure. Maybe like a 7 on exposure. Excuse me. Yeah, that's about all. That's about as good as I'm going to get, folks. Um, yeah, it's a shame. I'd like to have had a little bit better image of that right there. That would have been some good footage right there. Anyways, moving on. Oh, and this image here was just the next still shot from that image. And you see a little bit more of the brown copper in his face there as he's pulling back around, as he's backing away. And then you see another face back there. And then you see this Sasquatch here, which is more noticeable in this image than the other one. You can see see, here's his eyebrow ridge, right? Here's his eye. There's his little nose. His mouth is down here somewhere. And then there's his hair, his conical head. He's got a juvenile right here on his back. Right here's the head of the juvenile. There's the arms of the juvenile. And the head of the adult is like that. Right, and the hair comes down on his forehead right here. His eyes are right there. That type look up. See, when you take the markups off there, and then you'll be able to see. You'll see the face. It should jump right out at you now. You see it? Okay, there it is. I'll do a little bit of exposure just to turn it up a little bit. But you can see his face there starting to light up quite a bit. Alright, moving on. Let me see here. On this one was a Sasquatch in the thick vegetation leaning over to look at me. Check him out. I'm going to screenshot that and go here to where I can edit it and lighten it up a little bit and all that good stuff. So we'll turn the sharpness up, turn up some of the definition, and we'll brighten it up here. So you can start to see its definition of its face there. It's got almost like a maroon looking skin color there, pigment. Like a grayish maroon looking color with its copper hair. It's dark skin and it's got its nocturnal shade lenses on there. And it's laying sideways, peeking out laying its head down over sideways, watching me through the vegetation is what it's doing. Fascinating stuff. Okay, I'll probably do just a couple more here. Maybe one more, and then I'll close this video out. Let me take another look here and find a real good one. Oh, this was the one right on my porch. And it's kind of blurry, but I was able to catch him right on my porch at the corner of my house. As soon as I come out the door recording, he was standing right there, right next to me. I know you can't really make nothing out on it, but he's there. Sometimes they'll get brave and come out on the porch and they get real close to you. Here's one that's on my roof, looking over my roof right there. Check him out. Little juvenile. Pouring the rain up on my roof. Look at this guy looking out between the trees here. Right whenever I was getting the flashlight up, he was looking out between the trees. And once I hit him with the light, he pulled back. He kind of looks like that Mustafa on Lion King, the uncle. He kind of looks like him right there. Kind of hard to make out, but he's there. And then there's one right here, back here, and back in the darkness, the shade, right back here, hiding. Uh, Here's a juvenile that's uh, out in the brush. He's holding a little baby there in the front, right there. She's chubby cheeks, and then he's got one on his head there. It might even be a small mother or something. I don't know. But in the bush there. I got so much footage to go through. Uh, Hard to spend any real time on it, you know. Let's see. Anyways, that's all I got for now. Um, I'll get some more footage up in the next day or so. Uh, Starting to get my energy back a little bit, and man, I tell you, this COVID, it's an ass kicker, man. It's I've not had it this whole entire time until now. It's like I've had all the updates and all that stuff, and I figured that I would be okay, but I was wrong. I guess even if you got all those, you can still get it. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I'd like to welcome all my new members. Uh, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. If you enjoy the channel, share the stuff, man. Help get the word out. And I'm also over on TikTok, same name. And also, if you want to send any kind of email correspondence to me or whatever, it's Appalachian Cryptid Encounters at Gmail. And you can send me anything you want there. Stories, and you guys got stories or you want put up on a channel, let me know. I'll put it up on a channel. And hey, I'm curious about all things cryptid. So, anyways, y'all have a good rest of your day. Peace.